What is up? What is happening? It is your favorite, maybe even most hated reactor in these YouTube streets, Thoughts of a Predicate winner, and I am back at you with another one. Today, we are going to be getting into the likes of Whiskey Meyers' Broken Window Serenade. I've been told to just be prepared for some feels, which y'all know I love the feels, man. In the beginning, I used to say this is a channel where we react to music that pulls on your heartstrings and makes your soul bleed. So I'm all for it. I'm ready for it. And we still live by that. I just don't say it as much anymore. But without further ado, if y'all are ready to get into it, let's do it. But before we do, please make sure to smash that like button and smash that subscribe button and help propel me into the algorithm. Let's go. And of course, shout out to Jody for the requests. Let's do it. I've been told to put my thinking cap on for this one, so pulled up the lyrics. Oh, dog, I love a good harmonica, bro. I love a good harmonica. Let's go. Before we get into the song, since I know it's a heartfelt song already, I do want to say that the music itself sounds excited almost. But I'm going to tell y'all something, man. The harmonica sounds like it's in pain. The harmonica sounds like agony. The harmonica sounds like I got to break out of here, and I need to break these chains. That's the feel that I get from the harmonica. This is why I love harmonicas, because they kind of set a mood regardless of what the music in the background is saying.
Lay a couple of pearly flies, that's what I brought to you. I saw you through a broken window with a different point of view. You had signs of depression from a long line of sin, and your face tells a story about the places you have been. I love you so. I thought you.
Let me pull this back a little bit. I just had an idea.
A couple of pearly flies, that's what I brought to you. I saw you through a broken window with a different point of view. You had signs of depression from a long line of sin, and your face tells a story about the places you have been. I love you so.
I like this so far.
I thought you should know. And then muddy waters flowing, and as you take my hand past the creek down by the holler, through your daddy's land, and I could buy you a diamond, but I cannot change the world, 'cause I ain't got no money. You'll never be my girl.
Man.
I you should know.
Man. Let's take a little bit of a break right here, man, because I want to talk about how I feel like I'm relating to this so far. Now, a lot of you might think that I'm spoiled or lucky. I think that I'm very blessed and fortunate with my wife, but I've got my wife in my mind as I'm listening to it, and just kind of remembering the times like back in the early days. Now, it's important to state that, you know, she comes from nothing. We come from nothing. I come from nothing. She not come from, like, you know what I mean? We didn't have much. We couldn't just like get what we wanted. We couldn't do what we wanted to do. We couldn't just go to the mall and buy some clothes on a Friday afternoon. Like, we had to work our way to where we are today, both of us, and I'm very proud of my wife. But I want to talk about this for a second, because And Daniel can attest to this, right? Like Daniel's been around in my life since the very, very beginning. And there was a point in time. Now, my wife, you know, when she was 16, 17 years old, there was definitely a thought in her head. I imagined it was like, because of my circumstances now, but because of having to watch my mom go through what my mom goes through, single and struggling, it would probably be smart of me to start getting serious with a guy that, you know, has success or has a future set in stone, or at least has like the motivation to work towards it. And I specifically remember, even in those times, like knowing like I'm never going to be able to give you everything that you want, never going to be able to give you anything that you want. That was really what I thought. I remember specifically asking her mom, you know, because her dad wasn't around, but he passed away earlier. But I remember asking her mom to take her hand in marriage or whatever, and her mom was like, essentially like, no. I asked her to marry me anyway, but you know, because I loved her. But the reason for her saying no was because I didn't have anything to offer her. I didn't have anything to bring to the table. And I'm very, very thankful that my wife saw something in me that nobody could see, including me. And I'm very fortunate for that. And my wife has become my motivation. But and now I have, at 35 years old, I can say that I got her all the things that I didn't think I would ever be able to get her early in life. But that is a real feeling of distress and despair, is feeling like you fully love this person and you want to be with this person, but you know, the politics of society say that you're not supposed to be together, or you know, you don't have the accolades to impress. And for whatever reason, my wife saw through that. And my wife is like always has been like she wants the finer things. You know what I mean? That's just who she is. She wants to have a nice car. She wants to have a nice house. She wants to have a nice purse. You know what I'm saying? That's who my wife is and always has been. So imagine like her being able to see that through me is insane to me, because nothing added up back then. Daniel will attest to this. Nothing added up back then. Like where I am today compared to who I was at 16, 17 years old makes zero sense. No sense at all. You don't see it. It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. So that's kind of where my mindset is on this right now. I'm just kind of sharing as we listen to it. But I can feel that despair, especially like with her mom saying no. Like I really wanted her blessing. That was important to me. But her mom saying no, you know, and now she lives with us. You know what I mean? So there's you know, no hard feelings, obviously, or whatever. It was obviously the right choice to make. But and I wanted, you know, I was going to marry her. You know what I mean? I needed it. God's plan.
You was gonna be a singer and a big movie star, but you can't cash no bricks, baby, and Hollywood is out. Now you work down at the time off for 155, and you're dancing for your dollars, just trying to stay alive. It hurts me so. I thought you should know. And you feed your addiction with your crystal meth, and I plead for your life as it takes you to your death. You make your deal with the devil as your looks begin to fade. I saw you laughing through the tears as you slowly slipped away. I watched you go.
Now it's become me. Now it's interesting because that's very interesting how my ideology in the beginning of the song is my relationship with her. And as we continue to go through the song, I start to realize this is her relationship with me if I never changed. This is who I am if I never change. And I'm sure that she can feel that. I'm sure that she feels this in her heart, and it's heavy. And I know that my wife is thankful for who I am today, and thankful that I made it through my addictions, and thankful that, I lead our family in a God-fearing way. But Daniel will attest to this again, I must say, because I know he's in the premiere somewhere. Nobody thought, especially once I was on drugs, nobody thought that I would ever clean up. And what hurts me about music like this, what breaks my heart in music like this, it's the same way with NF's How Could You Leave Us? What breaks me is that I'm listening to music like this from the perspective of the person that he's talking to. So it cuts pretty deep, like when I listen to NF, like How Could You Leave Us, I think of that from my daughter's perspective to me if I never would have changed. That's why I appreciate songs like Somebody Save Me from Eminem, where he flipped it. This is my song to you if I never would have changed. This is really good. This is deep. I love this. I love this.
Slipped away, I watched you go. I thought you should know. Yeah, I watched you go. I thought you should know.
Before we get into the ending of this, I do want to say there's not much music like this. There's not many songs like this that can really make you shift perspectives mid-song. You know what I mean? Normally, whatever your perspective is when you start off with a song, that's how your perspective ends with the song. It's very eye-opening to have a song that changes your perspective midway through. This is pretty incredible. And now I'm on the edge of my seat wondering what happens next.
And that cold rain is pouring as they lay you in the grave, and I can barely recognize you in your fragile state. No more signs of depression from a long time ago. I throw in a pretty fly.
Oh, wow.
As they slowly laid you low, it was a rose. I thought you should know.
Oh.
And it was a rose. I thought you should know.
Give me that harmonica again. Yeah, there it is.
That's what I brought to you. I saw you through a broken
Bring it back to the
window
beginning.
with a different point of view.
Yeah, I like how he did that, because I was already thinking that when he set that flower on her casket. But to bring it back to the beginning, I think that that's important, for the slow people. I'm actually pretty slow with music sometimes, believe it or not. But to bring it back is important. So even in the beginning to the end, he saw her through a broken glass with a different point of view. You know what I mean? Her world was shattered. Her world was broken. But he had this different view of her, in the same way that my wife, I can get emotional talking about this, in the same way that my wife had a different view of me through my broken world, and even through her broken world. And had this idea of me and who I was to become. And this very easily could have been her fate. And she could have been the one that was talking about, I thought you should know, which breaks my heart, you know. But I'm so thankful that that's not my fate, and that for a lot of reasons, I think that's why I've been able to stay pretty humble throughout my life. And I always give the glory to God, man, because it's not mine, man. It wasn't me, you know. My wife is an all-star who should not have seen. If you don't believe in God, I don't know how my life is a possibility without God. Like I don't know how it. There's no such thing as like willpower to me. There's determination, you know, there's discipline, there's structure, but I didn't have those things. I didn't have discipline. I do now by the grace of God. But my wife saw that in me anyway, somehow. And she shouldn't have been able to, man. Nobody else could, not even my best friends. Like, nobody could. Nobody could see that in me. I wasn't supposed to be anything. I was supposed to be dead or in prison. And my actions continued to prove that throughout time. My actions just continued to show this man is going to end up in prison or in the grave. And my wife stuck by my side anyway, went through immortal hell by my side just because she saw me through that glass, through that broken world, in her broken world, with a different point of view. But my story ended differently than this one, thankfully. This song just makes me really appreciate, you know? It really makes me appreciate. That's a great song, man. The instrumentation is great. The harmonica, the soulfulness in this song is so great. The story is so great. The double side to it is so great. The relatability is so great. This is something that I can resonate with and play probably for the rest of my life. Thank you for putting me onto this. This is a song that hit home. That's like a heartfelt song for me. Every once in a while we get these over here, man, where like something, and salute to you guys because y'all are always trying to find something to resonate with me, but every once in a while we get one that just really resonates and really hits home, something that I really thoroughly love, like a 10 out of 10, and that's what this is. This is a 10 out of 10 to me, in the same way that God, We Need You Now by Struggle and Caitlin Curtis ended up being a 10 to me. And I think that might even be the last time that I felt this strongly about the song. There's a lot of stuff I like. There's a lot of stuff I love. But, man, this one really hit home, dude. And this is what I'll say. This is what I would like to say to everybody out there, man. If you are in the midst of addiction, if you're in the midst of being in love with somebody that has an addiction problem, if you can see through that broken glass a different point of view than the rest of the world sees, if you can see through that broken glass a different point of view than the person that you're looking at sees, hang on to that faith, man. Hang on to that faith, because that could be the motivating factor for them in the long run. As that was my motivating factor in my life in the long run, was my wife, and still is. The reason for my everything is because of my relationship with my wife. This was awesome. Awesome song. Awesome song. I love this. Had me tearing up there at the end, man. Thank you, Jody. I appreciate that. This one was great. I appreciate all you guys, man. Thank y'all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in about an hour for a new segment to the show called Should Have Been a Hit. Man, thank you so much for this song, man. This one really hit home. I'll see y'all later, man. Peace.